Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we should be getting the parts in tomorrow for the rear end of the car. So today I'm just gonna go ahead and get the interior completely cleaned out. It has a lot of dog hair in it. So I actually just got back from running to get a triple square set. A lot of the stuff on these Audis is triple square, which is right here. Almost looks like a Torx bit, but it's actually 3 squares stacked on each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by getting the front seats out. I did already get the back seats cleaned and got all the dog hair out of the back, but I'm just not gonna be able to get to everything without taking the front seats out. So I'm gonna get started by getting those out of there. Okay, so literally just started this. Started taking all the bolts out and I couldn't get to one of the ones in the back. Let me show you. So that one right there, I couldn't get to it. So I was like, I have to be able to do something. So I decided to see if I could raise the seat. And you can see there, the seat actually went up high enough where I can probably vacuum clear under it without having to take it out. So I'm gonna try that for now because that'll save me some time, and if it comes down to it, I will, but it's looking like I can actually get both sides and everything completely without having that out of there. And you can see there, that thing goes way up. So now that I figured that out, I'm gonna go ahead and just start vacuuming. Hey guys, so this side is all done. I actually had to go ahead and remove the other bolt out of the seat so that I could just tilt it back. I didn't take it clear out, but I wanted to be able to get under the seat really good, so that was the best way. But as you can see, under the seat, nice and clean, no more hair. And the rest of this side, all the hair is gone. But it's getting pretty late. So, catch you guys in the morning. Alrighty guys, so finished off last night. Got a little too dark to record, but I did get this side all done. See, the dash is nice and clean. Seats are clean, and the floor came out really good. Got almost all of the hair out. So now I'm gonna move on to this other side. See, it's still got quite a bit left in it. I haven't touched it at all yet. So I'm gonna start by unbolting this seat like I did the other one, and I didn't actually have to unplug anything because I was able to just tilt it back. So that actually worked out really good. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here and get this knocked out so we can go get the parts today. Okay, so I got the rest of the hair out of the car, got it all nice and swept, cleaned up. You can see there, hair is gone. Just gotta throw the floor mats back in. Seats came out really good too, as well as the dash, center console. Everything was actually in really good shape and wasn't really too dirty. Just had a lot of hair throughout it, but now that that's all gone, I'm gonna throw the floor mats back in it, and I just got a text saying the rear end of the car just got delivered to the shop, so I'm gonna head over there and check it out and pick it up. All right, so just got back with the parts. Looks like the bumper's in there. Little box on top, not real sure what that is yet. But you can see the trunk, There's part of a quarter panel. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing unloaded and go through what I got. All right, so here's the first box. I don't really know what's in here yet either. Got it open, find out. All right, looks like they gave me these two pieces, which were broken on my car, and I didn't know I was actually getting these too. These are the mounts for the bumper. And also I did have these, but they even threw in the springs for the trunk as well as the strut to hold it up, and some good hinge hood trunk hinges. I was wondering whether or not I was actually going to get those. They said they could throw them in for free since I bought the back half of the car, so that was nice. I think that's it for this box. I'll go ahead and start getting the rest taken out. Okay, so I got the rear bumper unloaded, and luckily it came with the parking sensors still attached. I was a little concerned about that because one of mine was bad, and it looks like they actually gave me all the wiring and everything for it, so that's awesome. But it does have a little bit of damage, but I planned on doing some body work anyway since it does need to get painted, and the rear diffuser has some damage, but that's likely going to get replaced by a carbon fiber one anyway, like the car had on before. Onto the trunk. So S4 trunk does have the integrated spoiler, which is awesome. I was worried I was going to have to get an A4 trunk because this was actually kind of hard to find. They did circle some damaged spots, but there's really not anything noticeable there. Overall, it's actually in really good shape. So that's getting painted black, so I wasn't real worried about it having a few little issues. And then here's the back portion of the car they cut, and they actually sent it with the crash beam there, and I was going to try to find the new little aluminum pieces here. But anyway, I was going to try to find new ones of those to test fit a new crash bar or the original crash bar on my car. So hopefully this one fits, because that back half is from an A4. There's the vent I needed, and all this here I'm going to have to use on my car. But luckily they did ship me a pretty big rear cut. You can see there, everything's still nice and straight like it's supposed to be. So hopefully that all works out. I'm gonna get it unloaded and start getting it apart and ready to put on my car. Okay, so in, I think it was the first video, I actually broke the Torx bit I was using to get the hood or the trunk hinges off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those removed and get those ones, the new ones, put on, just in case my original ones are bent, because the trunk did get hit pretty hard. So just gonna change them to be safe. So let's get started with that. Okay, so as you saw, I just broke off the new Torx bit I got, so I'm gonna go see if I can find a better one at a parts store, but I'm gonna go see if I can get a couple of them so I don't keep breaking them and having to stop. But I wanna get those hinges off, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, so just got back with a new bit, so I'm gonna see if it works to get these last couple bolts out. New hinges are in, and I don't know if you're able to tell or not, but the other hinges were mounted. This one over here was actually almost kicked up a little bit. It's hard to really explain, but they did sit differently when they were completely down. So I think that means they probably were bent, so it's a good thing I was able to get them. And luckily, the car these came off of was also brilliant black, so they match perfect. I won't have to paint those, just get the trunk painted and it'll be ready to mount. Okay, so more than likely the new trunk isn't going to be able to shut because this is all bent up. I might remove this to see if I can get it to close a little bit, but I'm gonna mount it because I want to see if the gap can be lined up on both sides of the quarter panels to see if those got pushed in, pulled out, whatever. Just since this is still pushed in, I may have to go ahead and get that hooked up to pull again, just to try to get it pulled out enough to be ready to replace. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that trunk and go ahead and see if it fits. All right, so I spoke a little too soon. I didn't actually look at the bottom of this trunk when I took it out of the truck bed, and they actually left on this little inner trim piece, and I didn't think it was there. I'm sure I could fit it in with the hinges, but I'm going to go ahead and remove this because it's going to need to be off to be painted anyway. So I think that's the easiest thing to do. And the wiring harness is there, but it's cut, so all that's going to have to be swapped out anyway, just like the trunk that I took off the car. I'm probably going to go ahead and put everything that's on the old trunk into this one, besides like the latch and whatnot, just because I know the stuff that was on that trunk, like the camera and the taillights, those actually were good and everything was working. So I'm going to test these ones out, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and get all this removed so that it'll be a little bit lighter and get it all mounted up on the car. Okay, so the inner panel is off the trunk. Rather than taking out all that wire right now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it in, just so I know where it all needs to go back. And I don't really need it off right now because I'm not ready to paint it. But now that that's all ready to go, I've got the hinges up, so we're gonna go ahead and get it mounted. Okay, so the trunk is on. The gap isn't perfect yet, but I just put it where the old hinge paint was so I could see if it lined up like that. Of course it doesn't, but it actually does have a decent gap still over here and on this side. It is a little pushed in. I don't know if that just means the trunk needs adjusted. It probably does, because I do have a good bit of space on the other side to still adjust that. But right now it doesn't go clear down because this latch actually hits right here, because this inner panel is still pushed in just a bit too far. It actually needs to go about an inch out. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to get that hooked up to the truck, and with it come along, just pull it out a little bit just so I can close the trunk for now and compare my body lines to the quarter panel, and then get started on pulling the rest of this out and cut it off and go from there. Okay, so I measured that and it doesn't look like it's going to need to come out anymore, but the trunk actually fits decent right now. I think I can line it up a little bit better, but I'm going to leave it there for now. I did get what I wanted to done, folding the frame out a little bit more, the actual inner body pieces. So I think the next episode I should be ready to start actually tearing all those pieces out on this car, and then also start tearing apart that body section so that I can start getting everything fit up. We'll see how it goes, but I also wanted to throw this in here because I did get it all sanded. I did polish it up a little bit because it did have a few little imperfections, and it came out pretty good, and it does fit on the new trunk, so I'm probably just gonna use it. But like I said, we'll see. Right now I don't have to keep it on there, but I just wanted to see what it looked like. So anyway, that's gonna be all for this episode. go ahead and check out my Instagram if you haven't already. It should be on the screen now, bakers_builds. I like to post pictures of what I'm working on as I'm making the videos, so check it out. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on those post notifications if you want to see more content. And if you have any suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you think I could do anything a little bit differently, help me out at all, because this is all new to me. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.